today's project, we have a Philco. Kind of nice, pretty swirl cabinet, you know. It's a polystyrene. You know, very cheap and basic. The problem with this guy, you're going to say, oh, it hums, or oh, I didn't plug it in. No, it was actually previously plugged in. The problem is that it seems to pick up stations, but if you kind of move the tuning knob a little bit, it comes in better and it sounds good, and then you let go of it and it fades out to nothing. So I'm thinking there's a bad connection somewhere. So we'll open it up and see what we're dealing with. So what we're dealing with is a very cheap radio, first of all. But realistically, this radio is built on a circuit board. And when you combine tubes and circuit boards, you get problems. The biggest problem being the heat causes the solder joints to fail. So what we're going to have to do is take this apart. I don't know how it comes out. I just hope it isn't too complicated. Some of these are just so cheaply built. Look at this. The antenna is soldered on here. You can't unplug it. You know, this was not made to be serviced and you know, put back. It was really, this was just like a throwaway item, unfortunately. Kind of nice looking, so I would like to service it and get it working again, because it is pretty attractive. Anyway, so we'll see what we can do. So this radio, you can see there's a screw in there. Maybe you can't see, I can't see, but there's a screw right here holding the volume control, and the volume control is soldered to this board. It's inaccessible. The filter can is in the way, and you can't get a screwdriver through this tiny little thing. So this is a throwaway radio. This is one that was not meant to ever be serviced other than tubes. So I'm either gonna have to break something, which, you know, may not matter. I don't know, it's a cheap radio. Or, I don't know, get a tiny screwdriver. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, it's out. I was able to squeeze the screwdriver by it, bent the cabinet, you know, whatever. Didn't break anything, so that's good news. So we'll take this apart. We'll take a look at the circuit board, see what we've got. So what do we have? We have very miniaturized components. You can see kind of what they were doing by the mid-50s. They were able to make a 5-tube radio, you know, decent performing radio with a, you know, circuit board. They put IF transformers here. It's a little loose. That's kind of, that might need to be resoldered. You've got a integrated circuit. This is an early type of integrated circuit. They call them couplets or whatever. There's a ceramic capacitor there. You have 2 bumblebees. Those need to be replaced. Electrolytic, which apparently is okay because it doesn't hum, but I will change it if I am able to. Looks like it's 3 values, and this is volume tuning right here. You can see it's a direct drive. Will need to be oiled a little bit, but other than that, it's not a big deal. So we'll just spray it out with some cleaner just to, yeah, it should be good, and we'll just clean this guy. You know, might as well make it clean. Here we go. All that dust, yes, I see it flying in the air. That's good for my allergies. Okay, we're gonna turn it over and see. So let's talk about very high quality soldering jobs here. You can see some of these connections are barely, I mean, this is like just barely soldered, and so like that thing, the heck is this? And you got this, that's barely soldered in place. So these will need to be resoldered, most of them, if not all. That's okay, I don't mind doing that. That's cheap and easy. The heat didn't do a lot of damage here. It's just the poor soldering from the factory. I mean, Philco by the 50s was really getting to be bottom of the barrel. You can see the date code here, 54, so I'm assuming 1954. You know, by this time Philco was like, you know, really cheap. They just, unfortunate, because they really made some good stuff in the 30s and 40s. But this was not one of the best quality pieces. Anyway, let's get to resoldering. All right, so I resoldered a bunch of these joints, and I also replaced these two capacitors there. I'm trying to figure out the electrolytics, and of course they're kind of hard to read, but it looks like 20, 25, and 30. So 33s, I mean, honestly, I could put 50 or 100 in here. It doesn't matter anything. But I believe it is 33. So let's see what I've got. Okay, not the most beautiful soldering job ever, but these boards are hard to solder to, and honestly, the negative common lead is lifting a little bit, so I don't want to go too crazy there. But I resoldered. No, that could be, maybe not. I resoldered what I could, just to kind of clean it up. Little bits of solder here that are not really. Okay, whatever. I mean, yeah, I just cleaned it up a little. I'm gonna do that one again, a couple more again, just to be sure, and then we'll see what happens. Sensitive. Should be getting something here. Aha, dirty tube socket. All right, let's clean. I hate these tubes. These have the. All right, hold on, we'll get back. So I don't know if you can see this here. See all this darkness on here? That's corrosion. These tubes like to get like that. These are junk. The miniature tubes, terrible. Hate them. The Loctiles, honestly, are easier. But these, you clean them, it's fine. They work for a little while. They move around the socket, they get a little loose, and they have issues. They keep having issues. Then you combine it with the circuit board, and it'll always have issues. So I can fix this now, it'll work for a while. When it gets hot, it may decide to stop making a good connection. These are really, really bad. But all you do is you take some sandpaper and you just sand off the contacts. So we'll do that. So we're going to talk about how bad these circuit boards are. So what is going on here? There's a bad connection somewhere. Okay, we're not. What the heck could this be? So we definitely have a bad connection somewhere. When I flex the board, do we have a broken trace? Boy, this is why I don't like circuit boards. This. Almost like a bad ground. All right, let's shut that off. Okay, bad ground somewhere probably. We're tailored just for you. Distorted on the low end. I don't know. Probably needs an alignment better than what I'm doing here. I'm just doing it by ear. The antenna I was able to fix the solder joint, I think. Now I move the board, doesn't do anything.
WCBS News Time 1028. Traffic in
stations. On the high side of the dial, it's very good. This always gets the Spanish stations.
Members of socially disadvantaged groups effectively, perhaps not fully encouraged and supported all members of those groups.
The alignment, we gotta get in there with the plastic tool.
We in the OIG's
so it's kind of annoying, but you know, it's working. So I think I was able to at least get it working again, which is good. As cabinet's gonna be cleaned up, so a little bit of work ahead. But so it is Christmas here, and we have a. I've been messing with this radio, can't get it to work, and I think I figured out the problem. There's a trace here that goes from the this tube. This is a I don't even know what it is. I can't think of it right now, but it goes to the bottom of the tuning cap, the green wire, and I think the trace is open. So let's just kind of put a little bridge over it, see if it does anything.
Happy holidays to you.
Works perfectly. Get off the music. This is the one day that they actually play music on the radio, which is kind of cool. Plays great. It was one bad trace. So this is why I hate these circuit boards. That, you know, this happens now, and honestly, you use it for a little while, another one will open up. It's just how they are. But it works all right. So I'm just going to do a quick antenna alignment, and we should be good. Well, this is how this should be.
no matter what.
Very sensitive.
So there's tons of. Except they made
by 1958, even if it's a circuit board,
his favorite segment of the program.
They knew how to make a radio that worked. I mean, this is really sensitive.
Well, as only dead body. In your presence. The Wall Street Journal, financial reporter.
I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with these printed circuit radios. They actually perform well, but they're just... Oh, there's the Spanish station. Usually there's not much up on the dial over here, but we got it.
And often we'll combine a thread lift along with the
pretty cabinet. I mean, it cleaned up really nicely. A little bit of dust. The only thing about this is it just shows the dust. But other than that, very nice.
At the same time as doing a thread lift.
Wish they put a dial light in here, but other than that, it is a very nice looking radio.